Why are you not paying attention to what's going on and what's it costing you? Hey, what's up, everyone? This is yours truly, Jovie J, Sumner, and I want to welcome you to another episode of the Breakthrough Boss Podcast, the Daily Recharge. Today's Breakthrough Boss Men's daily protocol is, why are you not paying attention and what's it costing you? So a lot of times in life, we ignore what's going on around us. And to some extent, you can't pay attention to every single thing going on around you. Your brain would go nuts. It's just not feasible. However, we do have to begin to ask ourselves, where can we begin to pay more attention in our lives, and what can we do to start paying more attention to what's going on around us so we can be aware and so we can take advantage if there are opportunities around us, because a lot of times there are opportunities all around us. We're just not honed in on them. We're not focused on how we can add value. We're not focused on how we can capitalize. So we'll talk a little bit today just about a few things we can begin to do. But first, let's start with, what is it that we're ignoring in our lives? You know, a lot of times there are things going around us that we simply have just crossed out. We don't want to see it. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to talk about it. And because of this, we just simply ignore it. And the challenge with that is this: once you cross it out, until you go back and hit the default button to cut it off, most likely you'll keep ignoring it unless it's something that's just obvious and right up in your face. You know, so ask yourself, what is it that I'm ignoring in my life? Especially if it's something that could be beneficial to yourself or to someone else. Because again, there are a lot of times when things are going on around us, that could be positive, it could be negative. But if we just simply hone in and pay more attention and be focused, we can actually take advantage of some of these things going on around us. And it could be beneficial for us as well as for others. That's the first thing. The second thing is this: what is the price you're paying by not paying attention to what's going on around you? Again, there are always opportunities, especially when you're in the marketplace and out in life in general. There are always opportunities to share, to add, to connect, to network, and not even just from a business standpoint, from a personal standpoint, to connect with other people, to get to know other people, to develop and build new relationships, to do something kind for someone. There are always opportunities going on around us if we're only paying attention to where we can share, to where we can help, to where we can be useful, to where we can connect, to where we can, support someone. And again, that's the whole point. This is not just a self-serving daily protocol. This is not just self-serving. This is about mutually beneficial ways to benefit, be of service, be useful, not just for ourselves, but for others as well. Because that's what being a breakthrough boss is really all about. Next, I'll say this. Ask yourself, how can I start paying even more attention? Or how can I start paying attention? And what I mean by that, not how can you start paying attention to what I'm saying as you're listening to this podcast. How can I start paying attention to what's going on around me? Again, we want to be aware of what's going on around us, because a lot of times there are things going on around us where if we just hone in, focus on some of the details, the little minute details, we can actually take advantage and benefit from things that may not be obvious, but they are obvious to someone who's paying attention and who's honed in and who's focused on what's going on around them because they're aware and they're paying attention. The last thing I'll say is this: ask yourself, what can I do to start paying attention immediately? And I say immediately because you may be in your car while you're listening to this. You may be at work while you're listening to this. You may be at home. You could have your podcast in and you're out somewhere in public when you catch this. Everything happens for a reason, right? So if you're paying attention to what's going on and you take advantage of a situation that's immediately available before anyone else sees it, you have the opportunity to capitalize on that. And again, you could benefit someone else. You could benefit yourself as well. You could support someone else. You could support yourself. And you also will have an insight and an inclination that may give you an opportunity to be ahead of the curve. Sometimes in life and business, winning is about being ahead of the curve. Winning is about seeing things and spotting opportunities before anyone else sees them or spots them, and then you capitalize on them. Sometimes just one key relationship where you may do something for someone to support them can change everything in your business. You may meet someone, and again, it's not self-serving. Do it for the right reasons. Do it just to be doing it, but it could lead to a great relationship. It could lead to a great friendship. It could lead to just other opportunities that may not be obviously and immediately obvious. And that's what I'm getting to. But this is one of the benefits of paying attention to what's going on around you. So begin to ask yourself, what can I do to begin to pay attention immediately? And how would that change my life? That's all I got for you guys today. Stay focused, stay disciplined, stay dedicated, and stay hungry, because lions are always hungry for more. Sending you love, light, peace, and prosperity. God bless, guys.